All right. We should be live. Been a while since I did one of these streams. I think the last time I did one of these was almost a week ago. It's most certainly been a bit. But we're here. We're back. And we are indeed live. Let me just make sure I can hear my voice. Yep. We are indeed live. Alright. Let's do this. Hi Glory was here. Hi Useful Master. Hi Gamble Core K. Welcome to the stream. I'm just gonna start hunting. I have 12 boost tokens left, so we might as well just get started and let's just hunt. Let's use all the rest of the boost tokens. Good luck, Josh. Aw, thanks. I hope I get something good. I've got some decent finds this event, but I haven't got anything amazing or anything. So, I'm hoping to get one out of these 12. This is Nimble, right? Yep, I want Nimble. Good. Nimble on my Dusket is the way to go. Hopefully I don't get any more Jimbies, because I'm not going to lie, I am done with the Jimby. Most of my finds have been either Corrupt Reskin Ikazunes or Alpha Jimby. So yeah. The best find so far, it's either Alpha Reskin Soul Nectar or Secret Ability Soul Nectar. I have a Secret Ability Reskin Soul Nectar, and I have an Alpha Reskin Soul Nectar. Hi Raider Rabbit, welcome to the stream. Hi Shiro Kazuki, welcome to the stream. How's your day? It could be better actually. I was doing my car today, I had a setback. I realized that a lot of the parts we had on our sides, like the armbar and there's something else. There's something on there's a couple parts that we didn't feel confident, so we needed to get extra parts. So it wasn't ideal. I'm doing all right. Hi Haro Solus, welcome to the stream. But yeah. I have 12 boost tokens left. Been busy because of the storm. Oh yeah, the storm's hitting me too. I don't think I'm going to get snow where I'm at, but I'm probably going to get freezing rain. Hopefully I don't lose power. I hope I don't lose power tomorrow. But yeah, the storm has been really bad throughout the US. But I don't think I'm getting snow. I think I'm going to get freezing rain though. Hi, Cheesy Nuggets. Welcome to the stream. Oh! Waba. We got a Waba. So, are you a secret ability? If you're secret ability, I'm catching it because Nimble's actually not a bad trait for secret ability Wobblist. Nope, ignorant. Rallying is a very fun and fair mechanic. Totally. People just don't get it. Rallying is the best part of Loomian Legacy. It's so entertaining to wait for the exact Loomian you want. It's also completely fun spending 2 or 3 of your days waiting to find a secret ability. The best part of Loomian Legacy. Nothing else beats waiting for your essay to happen or show up on your Loomian. Rallying's the best. 10 out of 10. Joshua, I have a question. Do you think Gremlin should get Haro since the move description involves spooking its target, which it does on the mace? 2 days is lucky if I got... You're right! It takes 2 weeks to find a secret ability. Are you going to showcase a bulky offensive team? I mean, a lot of my teams are bulky offense, but I don't know. I've showcased a lot of bulky offensive teams in the past, actually. I don't know why. I have a lot... One of my teams I've used for TLS a couple years ago was a bulky offensive team. I love listening to Rally Ranch music for 2 hours straight. Yeah, that is peak. Most peak song in all of LL. Totally not. The Nevermare theme, I think, is the best of Loomian Legacy soundtrack. Either the Nevermare theme, there's the Prope Pumble sound OST, and there's also the Corrupt theme. LL has some good songs in its OST. The thing back on the Haro question for Gremlin, While it does make sense for Gremlin to have Haro, PvP-wise, that would 100% make Gremlin too strong. Because its biggest flaw as an offensive Loomian is that it couldn't hit spirit types. Other than if you're running the 50 power Luster loot. So giving the thing Haro would make it so Gremlin would hit absolutely everything in the game. It would basically have the same coverage moves as your Soul, except it's bulkier, has a better defensive typing, and it has priority as well. So, personally, I think we should stay away from giving Gremlin Haro. Oh yeah, it has Thistle Slash too. Has Thistle Slash too. Thing is, Thistle Slash does not hit. The thing is that Thistle Slash does not hit spirit types for super effective. It's just a neutral hit. Plus, Thistle Slash has only 70 power anyway. Haro's a 90 power move that not only has a chance to poison, but could also hit spirit types for super effective damage. So I think we should stay away from that. My phone keeps hitting my table, I'm sorry. But yeah, every other move it stabs does not hit spirit types at all. And I feel like having that Achilles heel on Gremlin, I think, is needed. Because that's the way to keep offensive Gremlin in check. Giving it a move that just suddenly hits spirit types for super effective damage would make it too strong. Gremlin paired with Radiant Forecast Valkyrie is a fun wall-breaking combo. It did a lot of work for me in Season 2. Yeah, I can see that. Radiant Forecast, the light-type moves that can hit pretty much any spirit type for super effective damage, is really nice. Having that kind of support and then Gremlin is really strong. Especially since you can click Flash and Flee on the Valkyrie to get into Gremlin for free. You click Radiant Forecast, and then you click Flash and Flee. And then I think your other moves are either Holy Slash, Metal Blast, and Rejuvenate is your last move. It's kind of like a bulky offensive Valkyrie. There's almost nothing that can take both a strong melee dark move and a strong ranged light move on the same turn. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the game that could soak those hits other than Eclipse, funnily enough. And Eclipse does not want to take a Rogue Assault in the face either. Yeah, we have 2 days left in the event. It's crazy because Llama Train Studios did not announce that on Twitter. Usually when the event's about to end, they'll usually announce it. Like, something I've noticed about Llama Train Studios these last couple months is that they've been a lot... To be fair, the communication has never been that good. But their communication has gotten relatively worse as of late. That's something I will say. I think their communication's gotten worse these last 3 or 4 months in particular. And I know it's because they're working their butts off on Route 9, but I do wish they'd give a little bit more information about how Route 9 is going. Even though they did release a video, they didn't really show too much within the video last week, and they still haven't released a potential release date. So, it's just not enough. Martial Pearl to Eclipse? Nah, those never exist. Right. Right. Please get a pity Gamma Jimby. No, I'm not getting a Gamma Jimby. If Grim doesn't get Haro, what coverage moves would you give Grim? Let me think of a move that could potentially make sense for it. Gremlin. Maybe you can give... I don't know. Because the thing is, I want to be careful in the coverage move I give it. I want to be very careful. Thunder Chop or Thunder Clap? No, it doesn't make sense for Gremlin's design. Maybe something like... I'm trying to think. Dark Brawler. What would be another move Gremlin could have? Let me just check, actually. What are some of the other moves it has? Gremlin, Loomian Legacy. I'm looking at it right now. It has a plant-type move, which makes sense. Oh, actually. It already has Thistle Slash. Why not we why don't we give it Timber Thrash or Coconut Bomb? That would hit Spirit types a lot harder, but it's still only a neutral hit. And it's not stab boosted. Problem is it is Sharp Claws boosted. So I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if Timber Thrash should be the play. Maybe Coconut Bomb. But it also doesn't make sense for Gremlin to run Coconut Bomb. Because it's more of like a festive tree, not really a palm tree like Loomian. So Coconut Bomb would not make sense. Yeah, it doesn't need any more coverage. If it got any other coverage move that hits Spirit types, it would be too strong. Alright, here comes my pity. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Yep, Thunderclap is Joltooth's signature. Oh! Oh, that's good! Alright. Unfortunately, it is not a Gamma, but hey, we actually did get... That's actually our first... Of course I miss. Wow, I missed my attack? I am so shocked. Hey, we'll take it. Alpha Roamer. Better than Alpha Jimby. No, it's not GSA, unfortunately. I still need a GSA Mime... Not GSA. I still need an SA My Mask. I still need an SA My Mask. Maybe I could trade this for an SA My Mask. This and something else for an SA My Mask. Would be actually a solid trade. Chat, hear me out, Mind Drain Gremlin. No. I don't think that's the best idea. I don't want to give it too many range moves. I understand the mindset, but I don't think Mind Drain makes sense on Gremlin. What would be some other moves it can run? Very Smart Diaper? I don't think I've used Very Smart before, but I've used an offensive dive. I did use an offensive Diberg before. I don't think I've ever ran Very Smart, though. Very Smart Goggles. Which one is the one I wanted to use? There's a Mimas Disc I wanted to throw at it. Where is it? Not this one. Is it that one? Where is it? I don't know the ones I'm talking about. It's the ones you find in the maze. There's the normal Mimas Disc, but those suck. Aha! Gamma! Exceptionally good at catching my mask. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, exceptionally good! Exceptionally good, my butt! Why melee eruption? I want more variant Loomians. Yeah, more variant Loomians would be cool. Blaze Chomp or Blaze Punch fits its reskin. I mean, we could if we count the reskin, but oh no. I don't think it should. I don't want another brawler type with fire coverage. It feels like almost every single fire type, brawler type, has fire coverage. I don't know why. I want to give it something else. I want to be more creative. What else would make sense for it? Finally, it's been caught. I'm looking at its design. Does this thing have Driving's Force? Does Gremlin have Driving's Force? It doesn't have Driving's Force, so I guess it could get that. But that also doesn't really help it too much. It'd be cool, but I don't know if Driving's Force would help Gremlin that much. Because its biggest weakness, Gremlin, is the Spirit types, and you can't hit them unless you're Luster Loot. No, Mutagon has Frost Punch. I think that's it for it. I don't think we should give it anything else. I did get Pure Nimble Mimas, though, which is cool. I could use that if I want. Gremlin should get Spray for no reason. Totally. Should totally get that. Yeah, let's not give... I agree, let's not give Gremlin coverage. Like, I was thinking... Someone wanted to, and they did say if I wanted to give Gremlin coverage, what would I give it? The only thing I would even consider... No, we're not giving it Solar Punch. No. I know it's a 2-turn move, but nope, that would hit Spirit types. No way. No way. The only move I would even consider giving Gremlin is Timber Thrash. And even then, that might be too strong. Because it's even though it is a non-stab move, it will be boosted by Sharp Claws. Which can be very strong. Oh, Vine Lash! Okay, yeah, Vine... You know what? Vine Lash, yeah. I'd give it Vine Lash. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. And it already hits the most common water type. Yeah, he's a tree. That's why Vine Lash would make sense. Secondary ability, Assertive? No. That'd be... No, I think I'm fine with the abilities that it already has. Although I would actually... No, most roamers only have one ability. And then the secret ability. So yeah. Yeah, it'd be good to hit Surkame a little harder. Timber Thrash would be too strong. Coconut Ball makes no sense with its design. Vine Lash would be stronger than Thistle Slash, while also potentially lowering the speed stats. I feel like Vine Lash would actually work if we gave him that. I'd actually be perfectly fine with that. Yeah, he does mimic the trees, but he kind of looks like a festive tree. Fade away Vesperatu win? No. No way should Vesperatu get Fade Away. If Vesperatu got Fade Away, it would be one of the most broken Loomians on the planet. Triproot could work too. Actually, I'd be fine with Triproot. Yeah, Vine Lash would work. Yeah, Vine Lash. Vine Lash could actually work as a move. It would be a stronger plant-type coverage move. I wouldn't give it any more coverage, though. I think Dark Brawler with only plant coverage is good enough. If you give it any more coverage moves that are on the melee side, it would make it too strong. Especially if you gave it an ancient or light melee move. That would make Gremlin too strong, I think. I don't know why he has Blaze Stomp on Icicle, honestly. Hey, I'm fine with that. I use Blaze Stomp Icicle. Oh, Vine Lash isn't contact? So that means Vine Lash. Does that mean that Vine Lash does not get boosted by Sharp Claws? Thistle Slash does? That's interesting. If Vine Lash is not contact, then yeah, it would actually not boost from the secret ability. I feel like Timber Thrash would, but 120 base power move is way too strong. That would make Gremlin too strong, I feel like. It would just spam Timber Thrash every single time. It would never click its Dark Stab. No. Like, again, thematically, it makes sense for Gremlin as a Loomian to learn Haro and Shadow Sprint. Competitive PvP-wise, it would be horrible. It would be horrible in PvP if it got those moves. I think Gremlin works the best as a wall. Yeah, it works good as a wall, but it also can be used on offense, too. There's two different ways to use it. But it's relatively walled by so much Crackle. I'm perfectly fine with Loomians being walled by Loomians. Sorry, I hit my mic. I'm perfectly fine with Loomians being walled by certain Loomians. That is something that needs to happen. Like, every Loomian needs to have a Loomian that they can't beat. Josh, what's a Loomian you think was unjustly gutted? Servalin? Oh yeah, Vengeance Servalin. That thing got gutted out of mere existence. No clue why Jamie got rid of Vengeance. The thing is, yes, while Vengeance Servalin was very hard to switch into, the only way to get Vengeance Servalin on the full potential is having a Loomian get KO'd. And Boneheaded is not a very good ability to replace it with. It sucks because Servalin does have 75 base power, Adaptive Assault. But the thing is that Servalin was only good as a revenge killer. It hit pretty hard without Vengeance, but it never got the critical Okos unless it had the Vengeance boost. You'd have to KO an entire Loomian in order to get Servalin at full potential. You could outplay a Servalin if you play it right. If you're on the back foot, with Servalin, you're losing because you lost a Loomian first. Savage Horn would actually be a good move for it. It would... Imagine if every Vari got Savage Horn. Which Loomians would that make strong? Wyndolin would be strong with Savage Horn because it could hit to Clips. And honestly, any move to hit to Clips is a plus. Carolyn would be solid with it. What would it hit? I think Carolyn already has Mega Kick. Wrestling? Wrestling would be very... I don't know. They shouldn't give Horn Drill to everything. Boslin, now that makes sense. Oh, that is fair splashy. That is true. Will he showcase Garlash with Aquajaws? I will not showcase Aquajaws Garlash for one reason. Aquajaws can miss. And if I'm trying to showcase something with Aquajaws, I bet you I will miss Aquajaws every single time. Buzzlin needs fire coverage. The problem is that there's already bug types that have fire coverage. I mean, Sumo Beetle already has Fire Slam as a coverage move. And other bug types like Terrafly and Terraclaw both have Rough Up and Vital Jab as coverage as well. Coward? Call me a coward, Corey. The reason why I am a coward is because every single time I risk it, I lose. Hydro Fraud at least give it a viable ability as a mixed attacker. I mean, it does have 110 base power Hydro Blast, so is that not me missing Boomerang 5 times in a row? Yeah, Scopeland's item would make Hydroland at least usable. Problem is that it wouldn't get a damage boosting item that would help it out. I feel like that's something that would help Nevermare too, even though I think Nevermare is actually alright in this meta. If it gets a Raidful plushie boost and a bulk up, you can actually defeat Luminami and Lashent in one team spot. And you can even have like Phantom Slash or Haro to hit Silmar's Crackalola if you need it. Or you could run Primal Slash if you want to hit Ancients. It just feels weird dropping Spirit Stab. But I do think Nevermare's gotten better recently. It still suffers from Never Crit Syndrome in not having totemizable stats and having relatively low attack stats for a roamer. Especially offensive stats. But still, I think it's solid. It does solid in this meta, I would say. They should add an item that adds a +1 for accuracy. I think they're going to do that in the future. Yeah, but again, the problem with Hydro Fraud is that its offensive coverage sucks. Water Stab with Air Plant just is not good enough coverage-wise. There's so many Loomians that can wall that combo. Even if it does get critical hits, you're still walled by Luminami and Sorkame. Unless you're very brawny, but if you're running very brawny, then it's not the opportunity cost of being, you know, it's the opportunity cost of not being very nimble. But if you're very nimble, it's the opportunity cost of not doing enough damage to get KOs. I don't get it. Boulder Blast and Pine Shot have the same exact damage in description. Boulder Blast is 90% accuracy, while Pine Shot is 100%. I don't know, actually. I don't know why Boulder Blast is only 90%. That feels weird. But yeah, SA Snaggle is just generally better replacement than Hydrosprod right now. Lunar New Year Nevermare would be fire. That would. I hope they don't do a Lunar New Year this year, though. I hope they just focus on Route 9. Why do you still do PvP? The game is super dead. It's because I want to. I like playing PvP. That's why I keep making PvP videos. It's because I enjoy playing PvP. I don't know why Loomian Legacy PvP has not updated. I don't know why we just can't have a ranked season before Route 9 comes out. I don't know why PvP 2.0 was a massive disappointment and it needs to be rechanged to make PvP fun again. I don't know why Loomian Legacy doesn't do the stuff that some of the Pokemon company does with having global tournaments and online tournaments and different tiers and usage tracking for the Loomians. I don't know why Loomian Legacy doesn't do any of that stuff. Maybe if we talk about it more, maybe it'll add that stuff into the game. But as it is right now, I'm still playing LL PvP. Hi Bullet, welcome to the stream. Give a Phantom and Primal Slash for fun. The only Loomian is going to be horse-shaped Lachette. Oh, it's a Metagon. RUSA. Nope, you're tank. Snigglep is really funny. It's actually pretty solid with dropping Leaf as well. Yeah, it's getting Gust back, which is huge for it. Because it couldn't remove Poison Barbs because it was an air type. Now it'll actually be able to remove it with a Gust. Yep, I'm a creature capturing content creator. Smaller events like... Yeah, they don't make any notable impact for the development speed. So that does make sense. I could see that. That's fair. That is fair, Mochibi. Most YouTubers quit Loomian Legacy PvP, but you didn't yet. I don't remember which YouTubers. Uh-oh, I'm lagging, by the way. I'm lagging bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to keep this on and hope... Alpha Cradle, you stink. Oh no, it already has Gus. Oh yeah, it already has Gus. Yep, I am streaming. Okay, the lag has stopped. I had some drop frames for a little bit. Pretty much I don't believe anyone after hearing that Festifer's top tier and Himber is the best in the game. Wait. I actually did rank... Actually... Corey, have you watched my tier list video yet? I don't think you're going to like some of my placements. I put all the starters in at least good because they're usable. Where did I put Festifer? I don't remember where I placed Festifer. I think I placed Festifer in average, but let me check. I put Festifer in average tier because it has the regift ability. Had the regift ability and some other stuff as well. Festifer is in... Where is Festifer? Yep, I put it Festifer in average tier with... Funnily enough, guess who's also in the average tier with Festifer? Soulburst Eruptodon. I don't know what... I don't know. I think I was too harsh on Eruptodon. I think I should have put at least Eruptodon in... I don't know. All I remember is Chartiki being average is heinous. The problem with Chartiki is that it sucks at being a Heat Wave Sweeper. And while its combustible ability is really good, it's a plant type that's immune to fire type attacks, which is really good. The problem I have with Chartiki right now is that I don't think its offensive coverage is that good, and also its stats are good. It has good bulk, but it kind of doesn't know what it wants to do. Does it want to be offensive? Does it want to be defensive? I think it wants to be defensive right now. Defensive is the way to go. But every time I faced a Chartiki, they just get smoked. Like, either the opponent uses it wrong, or I destroy it in 2 hits, and it's gone. Not saying that Chartiki is bad, but I don't know. I feel like Chartiki is average right now. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be completely wrong altogether, but I feel like Chartiki is just average right now. Which Loomian is most forgotten, you think? I mostly forgot Malmark as Loomian, who has great vines, and it's Crocodile. Malmark has actually stepped up in Season 4. In Ranked Season 4, Malmark is finally a good Loomian, which is actually really good for it. Put in an average, I check. Aw, thanks. Oh, I hated the Soulburst Eruptodon meta so much. Soulburst Eruptodon was so freaking strong. Soulburst Eruptodon was so freaking strong. But it has never changed. In fact, it got nerfed a lot. A lot of people tend to forget that Soulburst Eruptodon's Pyro Pro ability got heavily nerfed to only boost its fire type attacks by 25%. And the fire typing is just not a really good offensive typing right now because Luminami exists. It does have Dark Surge to hit Luminami, but the problem is that it's also really slow, especially compared to other fire-type Lumians. You have Soulburst, Crackalola, and Pyrolin to be used defensively. If you want to use something offensively, you have Lumians like Infernax who are right there. Soulburst Eruptodon is just a little too slow in this meta, and its normal form really doesn't do anything, and its Soulburst form hogs a Soulburst spot. Only flaw I could think is Tartiki is that it's Veretalosaur in for free, which is a problem. Oh yeah, I didn't even know it will get Landslide. That would actually be good for Tartiki. It would be able to hit... What would Lance... It would hit other fire types. It would actually be able to hit other fire types. That's what it will do. Also, after these next 30 minutes, I gotta stop for a second. And then I'll stream the final 30 minutes. Exporialis is so good. Yeah, because you have Deep Freeze to actually hit Luminami. Which is huge. You need Deep Freeze if you want to hit Lumi. So yeah, you would run Icicle Tremor, Deep Freeze, Radiant Rush, Undermine. I feel like those should be the moves Borealis should run. And if you're running an upper hand Borealis, you want to run it on a Fog team. You have Cycle Chomp as well, but the problem with Cycle Chomp is that I don't think it synergizes well. You want Undermine to hit fires. And the air types that could switch into Undermine get hit by Icicle Tremor. Oh yeah, you could use Bitter Cold too. Bitter Cold's right there. I don't think Bitter Cold's good on a upper hand Borealis, but on an elusive Borealis, Bitter Cold is amazing on it. Chatwitch Loomian was good at one PvP one time, but now it's completely useless. I would say Soulburst Eruptodon, but Soulburst Eruptodon isn't completely useless. It's still a good offensive threat, especially after Magnify. If I would have to say one... I don't want to say Trumbull either, because Trumbull at least has Battle Chime and Quick Pounce. What else? Who else could be it? I don't know. I gotta think about that a little bit. How is it there a plant type Varillution? No clue. Oh yeah, yep, Cardi is gone. That's the perfect answer. Servalin. Yep, Servalin has been gutted big time. How do you think Cephalops being unbanned will change the meta? Cephalops? I honestly think Cephalops... I don't know. The thing with Cephalops for me is that Cephalops has a 100% chance of being very strong. The big question will be, is Cephalops ban-worthy? That is still something I'm not 100% sure, because it did lose Frostbeam, but it does have Parasitize to hit Lachant and Metronet. But if you're running Parasitize, then if you're running Specialty Goggles, Parasitize is not boosted by the goggles. But if you run Cuffs, then your Soul Drain doesn't do that much damage. So, I don't know. Tell me, what does Danoki generally do after the nerf? He stacks no paper. The thing is with Danuki is that Danuki is actually annoyingly bulky. It's one of those Lumians where it actually does have handy provoke, so it can stop other hazard leads, and it can actually handy rejuvenate, which makes it really good as an annoying tank Lumian. It can also emulate into another Lumian, which is something that could really help it, because it has a really high health stat. I feel like people are sleeping on Danuki, but it is true that it did. Danuki got nerfed big time. Oh wait, it lost Provoke? Wait, Danuki lost Provoke? Hold on. Wait, huh? Danuki lost? Did Danuki really lose Provoke? Let me check. Emulate, Hoodwink, Scapegoat. Oh, a Scapegoat. Ooh, that's dangerous. Tricky Tactics, Body Slam, a Memoir, Bag of Tricks, Coconut Bomb, Impersonate. Oh my god. It lost Provoke? I know that it lost Banana Split. It lost Provoke. Why did I put it in the good tier then? I thought it still had Provoke. Yeah, okay, that thing is meh then. Wow, I was completely wrong then. Putting that thing in good. Wow. Yeah, what does it do then? Other than being an annoying tank. Yeah, what does Tease do? Tease does nothing unless you're facing a specialty Loomian. Which, you're not always going to be facing a specialty Loomian. I sometimes don't know why developers focus so much on events, but not Route 9. I mean, is it worth waiting for Route 9 anymore? They are actually starting to focus on Route 9 now. They are really focused on trying to get that. Okay, now that's harsh. I wouldn't say Danuki's bottom 3. Bottom 3 is easy. It's Slavice, Gargola... No. It's Slavice, Ice Guardian, and Hydro Fraud. Those are the bottom 3 easily. Oh yeah, Ventation was popular at one point. Venovent was pretty strong in 2021 and 2022. But problem with Ventation is it's the opportunity cost of not being the other 10 bulky water types in the game. Did I not put Dyborg in good? I thought I put Dyborg in good tier. Did I not? Did I put it in average? Bruh. Now that Danuki's lost Provoke, I would replace... Looking back at the tier list I made, I would flip-flop Danuki and Dyborg spots. I would flip-flop those spots. No, Slavice is trash. No, Corey, I'm sorry. No, I've used Slavice before. Slavice is trash. At least Danuki has handy Rejuvenate and can do something as be an annoying tank. What does Slavice do? One Drudge and it dies. That's basically what happened. One Drudge doesn't KO the Loomian, it dies. Uses defensively, nope, it dies. Yeah, Slavice is bad. Slavice is a bad Loomian. Yeah, it's very annoying at spreading status, but can I tell you something else that also could spread status? Poison. Poison. Just click poison on the Loomian switching, and you could flinch him for free, which is cool, but again, it's not really high impact. Plus, it's not toxic poison. I think it's just normal poison. That is fair. Slavice can at least quick poison. But also Slavice, I don't think Slavice has any way of healing. When Danuki does. And Danuki can also have handy Bag of Tricks. Tricky Tactics is also a move it can have as well. Danuki also has the bulk too. Its defensive typing's better than Slavice. Slavice's defensive typing is absolute trash. Yeah, that thing turned into a Thalman showcase really fast. Yeah, Slavice is definitely very mid. It heals and then does what? That's the thing. If you have a do-nothing stall team with Poison Barbs up, Danuki just sits there, spams Rejuvenate, and then you stall the opposing Loomian. It even has handy Scapegoat, which can also be very annoying. And while its damage isn't strong... Oh! It can actually set up screens. Okay. It can set up screens, so there is at least that, too. It does also set up screens. It can also barter Heavy Shackles, but Dyborg can also do that, so I won't count that. You could set up screens and then spam Rejuvenate. Slavice answers Dragodine and Vest. Slavice... Yeah, Slavice does answer Vest. That is fair. Dragodine... It answers Dragodynes that don't have Draco Beam as their moves. But yeah, that is true. Danuki doesn't physically counter anything. That is true. And as a tanky Loomian like Danuki with priority rejuvenate, you want to be something that can counter an opposing threat. If it's not able to counter an opposing threat, it's a lot harder to use Danuki. That is actually a fair point, Corey. You got me there. Are you waiting for Tales of Tenario? I don't know how to feel about Tales of Tenario. Vesperatu is actually a decent anti-team pick right now. It's a anti-meta pick right now that can actually be very dangerous on certain teams. People tend to forget how strong Specialty Gloves boosted Vesperatu can actually hit. Doodle World was really cool until it started to look like a simulator game. Who is the best drop of a Youth Loomian? Best drop of Youth Loomian, Scampy, not even close. Scampy is fast, really strong, and has a lot of moves it can work with, too. Problem is that Garbantus is better right now, and the reason why Garbantus is better right now because it can click Poison, Barbs, and Earthquake. It was so good in getting many people to play this unique game. I was fighting a Partagon, and their Partagon hit me one time. Ouch, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, Odasho's there too. There's Odashu, Odasho, there's Snagulp. Snagulp is a good pre-evolved Loomian with Drop of Youth. Probably some other ones out there too that I'm forgetting. I need to think. Hey, it's a Solnecta. Dude, I want to rack on TOT so bad, but I can't since devs are trying. Yeah, they're trying. They're trying to make something work. The thing is, people don't criticize Tales of Tenario correctly. They should be criticizing how the game is still buggy. They should not be going after the actual people that's making the game. Like, that Tales of Tenario community is one of the most toxic communities, probably of all time. Like, my goodness, I don't think you can get a community more toxic than the Tales of Tenario community. They actually, a lot of the Tales of Tenario community used to be the Loomian Legacy community. It's the Loomian Legacy community that left LL, funnily enough. They were very toxic during LL's early days as well. You know what, Corey? That's actually 100% true. Most of the backlash is there because of how much Lucky HD talks about his own game and how much he craps on LL. That is true. Yeah, they did fumble their relaunch. It is very unfortunate. Like, the thing that scares me about Tales of Tenario is that everyone is talking about how they're still delayed. They didn't really fully relaunch. And it seems like Tales of Tenario is really only fixing the save files issue. Problem is that I saw some bugs. In the 10 minutes that I was actually in the game, I still saw some bugs that I don't think are going to be fixed. I still fell off the map. My starter started at 7 HP, and I got soft locked on a menu. I also got stuck on a loading screen because my save file wasn't loading. So it wasn't just the save file issue. There were other bugs that I even seen within the 10 minutes of gameplay. That is something that no one has talked about at all. And I feel like that's something that needs to be criticized more and not sending death threats to the developers. Tales of Tenario promised many things a lot. I know they promise so much and we get so little. It's frustrating. I'm wondering how many relaunches until they finally stop falling through the floor. Maybe, you never know. All it takes is that one relaunch to work and they couldn't get back on the map. Yeah, soft resets are a nightmare to catch. I know, death threats are horrible. Anyone that gives anyone a death threat should be in a jail cell. I'm just going to say that right now. Anyone who sends a death threat to anyone, they deserve to be in a jail cell. The only bug I had was walking while in dialogue. Yeah, that happened to me too, and that's actually how I fell off the map, because I think I walked out in the middle of a dialogue scene, and while the game was loading, I fell off the map when it was happening. Hi Carter Cats, welcome to the stream. Hello! But yeah, I feel like... But yeah. Also, it's hypocritical for people to crap on TOT for the delay while also glazing yellow. That is actually true! That is actually true. Although I think people crap on LL's delays too. I mean, I remember when Atlantean City Part 2 got delayed. I think Loomian Legacy developers got death threats there too. I remember that situation actually. I even made a video talking about that actually. Loomian Legacy developers get death threats in the community too. It isn't just Tales of Tenario. Was it true that people were sending death threats messages? Oh, it was true. Unfortunately, it is true. I guess we could thank Lucky HD for detoxing LL's community some. Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, that delay was horrible. Oh my god. The only reason why people don't talk about it much nowadays is because when it came out a week later, it was the best update that Loomian Legacy ever came out with. So... people forgot that real quickly when that update came out. Carter Cats. Oh, sorry. I got called Caker Cat, so wow. But T. Bradham still managed to settle it down, unlike the TOT devs. Thing is I wasn't really a big part of Tales of Tenario or Loomian Legacy's Discord servers, so I don't know how well they handle stuff like that. I do want to talk to some of the Loomian Legacy developers at some point, though. I really want to just talk to Jamie. I really want to talk with him at some point, ask him some questions, talk about some Loomian Legacy PvP stuff. I feel like that could be really cool. It'll be cool. Man, I also missed one more YouTuber, Armenti as well. He has such missing, and his Eaglet as well. The thing is with Armenti is a very weird case for me. I feel like Armenti, the YouTuber, was someone I was alright with, but I didn't like some of the things he did. I didn't like how he titled his videos. But Armenti, the person, I've talked with Armenti on Discord once. Armenti the person is awesome. You're not gonna get much better people than Armenti out there, but Armenti the YouTuber was definitely not the best. Just my opinion, no. Armenti the person, one of the best people you'll probably ever meet. Yeah, Armenti, I think he's off the internet now, Armenti, and Armenti has a job, which is really good, honestly. Which honestly is the best thing you can do in this economy. If you have a functional job and living off income and living your life, that is one of the most impressive feats you can have in this timeline. People don't understand how hard it is to have a life like that at this point. A lot of people need to get 2 or 3 jobs just in order to live off an income nowadays. It's actually ridiculous how expensive everything is. Yeah, he's the true winner. He does occasionally make videos from time to time, but he's definitely off the internet for the most part. I mean, if it's bad, just don't use it. Jamie 2025 Luminity Park livestream. Brad also sent a crazy message in Discord and closed every channel. Lol. What message did he send? I don't even remember. Thing is, I don't want to be too tough on the developers if they're getting death threats. Especially since I didn't see them do it, because I wasn't part of the Discord servers at the time. So I don't know how the TOT devs handled the situation, and I don't know how the LL devs handled their situation. Because, again, I wasn't really active on Discord during those times. We're so an update merchant, only uploads when LL updates. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what he does. That's what Jamie said when he asked about Hydro Fraud buff. Just don't use it. True! Honestly, just so true. Just don't use Hydro Fraud. But in all seriously, I feel like what Hydro Fraud needs, it needs the item. I think the reason why he doesn't want to buff Hydrolan, because he's worried about what 100% critical hits could do. If he adds a critical hit boosting item, he doesn't know how strong 100% critical hits could be in the game. That's the reason why he's also so hesitant on buffing Nevermare as well. Despite both Hydro Fraud and Never Crits being huge frauds sometimes, you just don't know what 100% critical hits can do to the health of a game. Alright. 3-tail Pity, wish me luck. I hope I get another good Pity. My first Pity was really good, and Alpha My Mask is really good. Hopefully I get another rare find. Wish me luck. Have you seen, like, Focus Energy Scope? Lens Hydrolan? Oh, Hydreigon. Oh, yeah, Hydreigon from Pokemon. Alright. Wish me luck. Oh! Let me guess, you're Immunize? Let me guess, you're Immunize. Yes, you're Immunize. You stink. And you provoked me? Really? I'm getting freaking owned by a random encounter. Yeah, I don't have an alpha one of these yet, so I might as well catch it. I don't have an alpha. I'll put it in a red disc because it's a red. Honestly, I think its alpha looks better than the gamma. I think the biggest thing with that statement, though, is I don't know how Draco spam isn't considered broken. I mean, Dorgo, like, the thing is, oh my god, Anomaly Draco Beam on Dorgo. Oh god, that thing annoys me so much. I know why Speeder likes Dorgo. It's a cool Loomian, and its Surrogate set is cool. But, oh my god, Anomaly Draco Beam is just some of the most annoying... It's the most annoying Loomian in the game to deal with. Its fast speed and its ability to snowball damage that easily is just ridiculous. RNG raid? Wait, RNG raid? The RNG guy? Wait, I'm getting raided? Hello! Hey guys! Welcome to the Joshua Star 77 channel. Like and subscribe to the Geklo Man. Also, thanks for joining. Hello! Thanks for the raid! Thanks for the raid, guys! I think it's the first time I've ever gotten raided. I think it's my first time I've ever got raided. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers, RNG guy. If it doesn't one-shot something immediately, though, it might die unless it got Clutch Plushie. Oh, that is fair. Yeah, Dorgo, yeah, but some Dorgos do run Clutch Plushies. So it is something that you do gotta be concerned about. You do gotta be concerned about Clutch Plushies. Also, Clutch Plushie, Anomaly Dorgo, can live a Lightspeed Ray because of the Clutch Plushie. Any good finds? Yeah, I actually do have a good find. I got one of these fellas on Alpha. I got one of those guys on Pity. Probably one of my better finds of the event is that. There's the Alpha Solnecta, which I found a couple weeks ago. There's also there's something else as well. I found a lot of Alpha rares, but I haven't found any, like, Gamma rares. That's why I'm always using Dazzling Barrage. Yeah, Dazzling Barrage! You gotta get that Dazzling Barrage move to hit Dorgo. WW. Hey, it's fine. It's better. Hey, an Alpha Roamer is better than an Alpha Jimby. That's the way I look at it. I really wish fossils were realizable, but then I look at Joltooth and Dorgo. Honestly, it's weird because half the fossils are not that good. The other half the fossils are solid. And then there's Renosaur and Morphizu who are just absolutely busted. Oh, Dorgo as well. Yeah, Draco Beam is expensive. So yeah, Dorgo only has 4 Draco Beams in order to work with. That is fair as well. So you could stall out its Draco Beams if you play it right. Imagine if Dragodyne still had... Oh my god, Anomaly Dragodyne would have been so strong. Oh my god. That thing was so broken. Thank god it lost Anomaly. Thank god. Dorego still has it, but at least with Dorego is slow enough. And it doesn't hit as hard as Dorego. So there's at least that. The only goated fossil was Solburst, Stoltooth, Infernix, and Verenasaur. Yeah, Solburst, Stoltooth's pretty strong. Infernix, very flexible, really good Loomian. And Verenasaur, we all know about Verenasaur. Autocorrect went crazy for me there. Motivation, Draco Beam. I mean, the only Loomian that has Motivational as their ability is Bywarn, I think. I miss my OP Dragodyne. The thing is, regular Dragodyne is still solid. Solburst Dragodyne, on the other hand, that thing is busted overpowered. You get a KO with that thing, and that thing snowballs damage really easily. I know, it basically became another Tyrex, except stronger. Stronger and faster Tyrex. Although Tyrex is technically stronger because Tyrex can get totemizable stats while Verenasaur doesn't. But Verenasaur is also faster. It hits everything. So, yeah. Also, Tyrex doesn't do as well versus Lachette, while Verenasaur could 2-hit KO it. Haven't done PvP since Solburst Dragodyne, so maybe it will be useful now. Oh, Solburst Draco... The RNG guy, all I will say is Solburst Dragodyne is an utter monster. You get 1 KO with that thing, and you win the game. Its ability is Remorseless. After it gets a KO, it gets a melee and ranged attack increase. And it's a Dark Air-type Loomian, which is very good with Draco Beam coverage. And after a Piece of Mind, it never dies on the range side because its Solburst not only gives it extra range attack, but it also gives it extra speed. So instead of having just 70 speed, you have 95 speed. So you could run stuff like Smart Nimble under Banana Split, or very nimble under Strong Gust, and then that thing can just solo teams by itself. Solburst Dragodyne is a monster. Is it pretty much beats Boost? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you could use Wind or Banana Split, or just use it on its own. You don't even need Banana Split or Strong Gust support in order to make Solburst Dragodyne good. It's just, the thing is that if you're not using those, you could get outsped by offensive threats. Because it is only 95 speed. But if you are using Strong Gust or Banana Split, it legit sweeps games. I'm actually excited for Infernix in the future. Trip Root is good for it. If we get a potential Life Orb, Infernix will be a great user. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Life Orb and Trip Root would be huge for Infernix. I'm hyped for Noctilet's Evo, because we are starting from 91 base speed, and its melee attack is starting at 81. Oh! If Gargolem A gets banned, I'm creating a win teams immediately. Unbanned. Unfortunately, Gargolem A is going to stay banned, unfortunately. Still, though, Strong Gust teams are still good without it. If you just use Whippledrift, Solburst Dragodyne, and Morphizu, you have a pretty good base already. The hardest part is finding a melee attacker on that team, but we might be getting the answer. Terrafly is having its Hotfoot ability changed to have its speed doubled under Strong Gust. So Terrafly might actually be our new melee attacker under Strong Gust. So Terrafly could be an option that could open up. Because Strong Gust boosts its Baneful Bash while also having Parasitize to heal. And it has Wing Slap, so there's that. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but it's an option. Especially since it does have Drudge. So you could set up a Drudge, and then you could hit really hard after a Drudge. Typhoon is pretty decent melee attacker for Win. Not even weak to Electric. Yeah, the biggest problem with Typhoon, though, Typhoon's ability does boost its melee attack. The problem is that it's still there's just 3 critical Loomians it can never beat. It can never beat Restrictive Armor Luminami, it can never beat Max Defensive Lashent, and it can never beat Silver Stratosaur. It can just never beat Stratosaur in general. And all 3 of those Loomians are really common. At least every team has at least one of those 3. And a lot of teams have 2 of the 3. Which is just really bad for Typhoon. At least with something like Avatros. Avatros has Thunder Crash to hit Luminami and Stratosaur, and it has Brawn Boost to set up. And something like Terrafly has Baneful Bash and Parasitize to hit Luminami and Lashent. Typhoon just kind of struggles with that. Oh yeah, you have Venusaur too. You could just use Venusaur on a strongest team and have something like Gloves or Boots. You can have either Specialty Gloves or Specialty Boots, depending on what you want. Yeah, Luminami is most certainly the fun police. Typhoon does have good fundamentals. I feel like if Typhoon was not in a meta trapped with Luminami, Lashent, and Stratosaur, it would actually be a very good Loomian that would see a lot of usage. I'm going to stop for a little bit. I only have 4 boost tokens left. I need to get something real quick. Oh yeah, Cuffs as well. You can use Power Cuffs so you can switch your moves. I'll be right back, guys. Need to pick up something real quick. I am back. Final 4 boost tokens of the event. Let's do this. If y'all are wondering what I was doing, I was picking up the clothes from the dryer. I was picking up my clothes, so I needed to get that out so it wasn't in there stuck. Alright. Cuffs is clear on Vereno. Yep. I think it having Petrifying kind of makes it a Legend Shadow. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Doesn't Venusaur need gloves? Yeah, its most common set is gloves, but it can run other items too. It can run boots, it can run cuffs, it can even run Health Amulet, funnily enough. Barb Trap, Health Amulet, seems kind of funny. The problem with boots for Venusaur is that it actually doesn't do that much damage. So gloves or cuffs, I feel like, are the best items you could run on it. Boots is decent. It's just, yeah, it has to be pure brawny. Nimble Boots is not good enough. It should give Geklo Complete Demolition, Blaze of Glory, and Draco Beam. Yes, it should have all those moves. How do y'all think Dissipate would be on Luminami opposed to Flash and Flea? Stops the extra chip and restrictive items. It makes sense. The problem is that dropping a light type move on an Anglerfish Lumian just competitive PvP wise, that would fix the Luminami problem. But on the other hand, it just makes no thematical sense to get rid of Flash and Flay on Luminami. I feel like the best way to fix it is just remove Power Napper and give it Nightlight as its secret ability instead. Nightlight makes thematically more sense than Power Napper on Luminami. And it would actually make it so it actually lives Dark-type hits a lot better, meaning it could still be a bulky pivot, it just wouldn't get free HP back. You know? It still has everything else that makes it a bulky Loomian. It would be forced to run Rejuvenate if it wants to heal its HP back, instead of relying on Power Napper. That would be the way to fix Luminami. Just get rid of Power Napper and make it Nightlight. I love you, Josh. Your voice is so smoothing. Aw, thanks. Alright. I'm a despawn. Good luck hunting. Alright, good luck. Thanks for hopping on, and thanks for the raid. People say that Venusaur is too much. If it is broken, it's based off the cuff set. Specialty items are easy to play around. That's true. Specialty items are easy to play around. Trust me, I know that well. But I don't... Venusaur is good and very tricky to beat, but I don't think it's quite broken. It's close, but I don't think it's that broken because it doesn't have totemizable stats. If it had totemizable stats, maybe. Maybe if it had totemizable stats. But right now, I think it's strong, extremely strong, not quite broken. There are Loomians that can at least switch into it if you play it right. I'm new to PvP and I like using Sherbot, but every time I hear people say that he sucks, can you explain to me why it's not... Why, if it's not asking too much? The problem with Sherbot is its base stats and defensive type. The thing is, it has actually one of the worst typings in the game. It's Ice Metal, one of the worst defensive typings in the game. You have a quad weakness to both fire and earth, or no, quad weakness to fire and brawler, while also being weak to earth and electric, which is just really rough. But Sherbot, unlike Ice Guardrone, can at least run. Sherbot has two sets it can run. It has the Sugar Rush ability, which is an ability when if you consume your item, you double your speed. And the Overcloak ability, which makes it so it doubles its speed under Thunderstorm. So despite having a relatively mid-speed stat of 76, its double speed makes it so it outspeeds pretty much anything in the game when it gets its Sugar Rush or while it's under Thunderstorms. And it has moves it can run. It has Jumpstart to set up, which is good under Thunderstorms. And it also has Zip Zap as pivot. The biggest problem with Sherbot is it wants to be ran as a glass cannon Loomian, but it just doesn't hit that hard. If Sherbot lost 10 melee defense, and that was to redistribute it into its ranged attack, so it had 104 ranged attack, it would actually be a decent glass cannon Loomian that has pivot. But as it is right now, it just doesn't hit hard enough. And it's hard to use. And it's hard to use Jumpstart because it takes a lot of damage when you use it. So, yeah. Sherbot can be used, and it does have tools, and it can be dangerous against certain teams. But it isn't the best Loomian right now. It needs more ranged attack. That would fix Sherbot, I would think. Maybe people rage quit with Overclock Sherbot. I've used Overclock Sherbot before. I've used Overclock Sherbot to get Ace in Rank Season 2. It was actually very solid that season. But again, it needs a little bit more range attack, because I don't want to be stuck at using specialty goggles on it. Like, I have to use Very Smart and specialty goggles for it to even pick up Okos. Anytime I haven't ran specialty goggles Very Smart, it just never did enough damage. Mega Punch was specifically for Tyrex. If Tyrex tries to switch in on Venusaur, Mega Punch 2-hit KOs it. Yep. That's why they run Mega Punch. It's not just for Tyrex either. It's also there for Silver Stratosaur as well, or normal Stratosaur. Venusaur is actually a big reason why Stratosaurs run Toxic Filter, just so it can actually check Venusaur. Because Toxic Filter Stratosaur is the only consistent check to Venusaur. Vesperado lacks damage too heavily. Demanding doesn't help Vesperado in any way. Any builds compared to Sharp Claw. The thing is you don't have to use Demanding. It still has the Awakening ability, which is actually very strong. The thing is, Awakening Vesperado hits around the same as Sharp Claws. It's a little bit weaker on some of its moves, but Awakening Vesperado on its stab moves pretty much did the same damage as Sharp Claws. You still have Awakening Vesperado to hit really hard. Demanding is better if you want it to be a bulky Vesperado, which bulky Vesperado is immune to Brawler type hits, has Revival to heal its HP, and Gust to remove hazards, with Slapdown utility. So there is a reason to use a bulky Vesperado, but it isn't that good in a meta where Luminami is basically everywhere spamming Flash and Flay. Hi Joshua, we can't talk in Roblox because Roblox sucks. Oh yeah, I've talked about that Roblox and Roblox chat and age verification stuff. Roblox does indeed sucks. Both Stratosaurus runs bulky late game cleans instead, so it lives Mega Punch very well from Brundlesor. Yep, it does. We're in 2026 and people are still saying Vespi's trash. Vespi's not trash. Vespi's actually Vespi's very underrated. Probably one of the most underrated Loomians in the game. Like, don't mess with a Haro boosted, Awakening boosted, very brawny, Specialty Gloves boosted Vesperatu. That thing hits really, really, really hard. Maybe not most, but majority. I'm not saying it's trash because I love Vesperatu, but I don't know how good it is. It's still very good. The reason why it isn't getting that much usage because it doesn't have a pivot move unlike other spirit type pivots. But Vesperatu gets better because of its massive amount of damage it can do. I can't wait to see all the starters get remodels. Oh yeah, I can't wait too. The starter remodels are going to be so good. I'm excited for those. Is SA Borak good? Unfortunately, Boast is better on Borak. Secret Ability Borak could cook if you get a Resilience boost in Quicksand to trap something in. Biggest problem with Resilience Borak is that it doesn't have a consistent way to heal its HP back. So, yeah. It's a lot harder to use, and Boast is just a lot better at actually dealing OHKOs. Do you think Ventation getting the biggest buffs this season? I just want Soulburst Ventation already. I want Soulburst Ventation, and I want Soulburst Ventation to be a Water-Fire type. That's all I want. Please, Jamie. Give me a Soulburst Ventation. It wouldn't even really be that good. I think there's multiple types that can wall both Water and Fire, but I want it, please. Please. I want it so bad. No, I want to give that thing a Soulburst Ventation would be so cool. Tatab got buffed. Oh yeah, Tatab is very threatening now with its new remodel. You can also make an argument that it's slightly better because you can just spam Gnarly while Slapdown loses. Yes, Slapdown loses its damage output after the first hit, when Gnarly Gash is 90 power, and it also has a chance to lower melee defense. So it's also a high. It's a good variance move as well. Is Vent getting Magnify? I'm not sure. I don't know if it is getting Magnify or not. I gotta check. Have you found anything good? I found an Alpha My Mask on Pity. So that's pretty good. Make the Soul Burst move a water move that burns the opponent guaranteed. No, I don't want that. I want Soul Burst Ventation Soul move to be Shell Smash. It smashes his shell as it erupts, and it gains +2 in every stat while losing defensive stats. So it becomes like this raid boss Loomian after it uses its soul move. That's what I want Soul Burst Ventation to be. I don't know how strong that would be. I don't think it would be too strong because there are multiple types that can wall its stabs, but I think it would be fun. Slapdown doesn't get the damage boost anymore. Oh yeah, Slapdown doesn't, but it used to. Slapdown used to get the damage boost on Vesperatu, and that's what actually made it so strong in the past. But it doesn't anymore. Soul Nectar. What about Soul Burst Nimue with Geomancy? No. 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 I'm immediately saying no Geomancy. No. No. No Geomancy in the game. Nope. Nope. No, 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 no. We're not having that, baby. We're not having that. I don't want Xerneas in LL. No way. Yeah, pre-nerf Vesperatu was a monster. Hey Joshua, remember that one battle where we showcased Unleashed Cosmere? When you battle me, I actually used your Hazard Stack team and you didn't notice? What team did I face? I don't remember. That was so long ago. I don't even remember. Yeah, it had like a 107 base power move that removed an item, I believe. Yeah, that was really strong. Is Sweet Touch Sinogre any good at PvP? Can't it be used? It can! The thing is if you want to use Sinogre has the Ignorant ability, which is just miles better. Ignorant is an ability which makes it so it's immune to stat increases. Meaning that if there's a setup sweeper, you are completely immune to its stat boost. Which is really good for a Loomian like Sinogre, who has really good bulk, spite, and poison. The problem with Geomancy on Sherbot is that Sherbot is so frail. It Geomancy's 2 turns to set up. Soulburst Dusket would be insane. Honestly, Soulburst Dusket would actually be pretty strong because it does have haste. Dusket, even Dusket right now has the fundamental tools to be dangerous. But Soulburst Dusket would be way too strong, I feel like. Soulburst Protocol would generally be Mega Zygarde. Honestly, yeah, it would definitely be that. Jamie should add Soulburst Geklos and give it a septuple Ami boost upon Soul Bursting. Yes. I'm 100% in on that. When will you do a defensive Imperior / Wintrix? I don't think I've showcased defense Wintrix in the past, but I used defensive Wintrix before. Defensive Imperior, I don't think I would use defensive Imperior. I would use Hazard Stack Imperior, though. Because there is Hazard Lead Imperior with Handy, Barbs, and Provoke. That's an Imperior set I do want to run at some point. I actually don't have an upload scheduled for tomorrow, so maybe I could do that tonight. We'll see. Let's see how I feel after the stream. Oh no, let's not have a Soulburst Your Soul. Also, I'm about to get pity. Here we are, pity. Wish me luck. Probably the last pity of the event is... You suck. Vomit Child, you suck. Is Boast pretty much the worst Intrepid Sword? Yeah, Boast is pretty much Intrepid Sword, but worse. Still a very good ability on a Loomian like Borak, though. That's quite possibly the last time I'm gonna be hunting in this. That's probably my last penny of the event, which is brutal. Unless people give me more boost tokens, which don't do it, save your money. That's probably my last penny of the event, because I'm all out of boost tokens. I could get 2 before the event ends, so I could maybe hunt one more time on the final day. But that's kind of it. Soulburst Fantation about to be the game's most beefiest melee wall? Yep. Hashtag remove Jimby. Oh yeah. I 100% agree with that. Oh my god, Geomancy Fog Sherbot would be so strong. Oh my god. With Fog Globe Sugar Rush. Oh god. Oh no. That would actually be strong. Did Elusive Borealis get nerfed? Yes, it did. Bitter Cold got nerfed. Its Elusive Buffs got nerfed. And it's still very strong. It got nerfed. Its Elusive ability makes it so it actually takes a little bit more damage. And Bitter Cold is nerfed to not nerf the range attack as much. And yet it's still an absolutely busted Loomian if you use it right. Still a very strong Loomian and still very annoying to deal with, but it did get nerfed. Yeah, let's not have a Soulburst Tyranics. Soulburst Tyranics would be very crazy. Especially since it could set up Fog before Soul Bursting, which is something that is concerning. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Elusive Borealis got nerfed twice, and it needed it. Oh my god, Wonder Guard Tyranics would be the most broken thing on the planet. You would be forced to run Metal type moves just to hit Tyranics. No, I could see a lot of problems with Wonder Guard or Tyranics. I don't want to force a Spirit type. I don't want to force a Metal type on every single team. Just to deal with Tyranics. Look, I'm going to use a hazard setting Imperior. I don't think I want to use a full-out defensive one now. I just don't see how a defensive Imperior could work when I could just use a handy hazard setting lead. You know what I mean? I feel like that set could actually be very good. Jamie talked about Wonder Guard once and came to a conclusion that if anything got that ability, that it would probably be a plant/simple type. Yes. It would have to be the worst defensive typing in all of LL. I agree. It would have to be something like that. Yeah, Tronics can still beat metal types. Tronics can actually beat a decent amount of metal types, too. You still gotta watch out for that tricky tactics, though, on Valkyrie. A lot of Tronicses have been running tricky tactics just to get the Reaper... Just to deal with light types to try to get the Reaper HP. Which is kind of funny. Do you still use Scampy? I haven't used Scampy in a while, actually. I actually have not used Scampy in a while. Last time I used it, I think, was for a pre-evolved team video. I haven't used it recently, though. That could be a nice showcase to have, though. Do you feel like Pronsu needs a buff? And same... I don't think the Shrimps need buffs. I honestly think Pronsu and Shrimposte are actually kind of underrated. Pronsu hits Lashent and has an ability which makes it... And has an ability which counters Lashent, which is really good. And it has decent coverage moves. It just doesn't hit Luminami well. And then Shrimposte, despite being slower, is bulkier and has counterpoise, which is a priority move. So yeah. I don't think they need buffs. 2000, very... Very smart. Specialty goggles, Inferno, Ventation, Geyser. Versus in Smoldering Heat. I mean, guarantee 3-hit KO is something. I mean, that's something, right? It's something. Problem is this Inferno as an ability just kind of sucks. It will get buffed though, so there is that. Wave Crash wouldn't be anything much better than what it already has. I agree. I kind of like your start about conclusion trapping. Yeah, I wanna showcase conclusion trap again at some point. With the double season being talked about and coming into fruition, I want to showcase conclusion trap again. Yeah, Eruptodon was so good in the past. Soulburst Badger would be broken. That thing would actually be the most broken Loomian on the planet. Getting a Dauntless boost before Soul Bursting into something that's even stronger, that could be very strong. Not to mention that Normal Badger is a good Loomian on its own, with specialty gloves, specialty boots, or power cuffs. You could even run something like an Ice Essence as well, if you want to save up on energy. Not next season. It's the season after the next season. That will be the doubles rank season. Light, alright. We need Shadow Tag. If Shadow Tag is banned in singles, yes. Sword of Ruin for Soulburst Badger, yeah, that would be so strong. Alright, I got my encounter. Yep, Year 2 Season 1's the weather season. Year 2 Season 2 is the double season. We do need Shadow Tag in LL. We do need it. I don't know if I want it in singles. I feel like if Shadow Tag or Arena Trap were in singles, I feel like it should be banned. But if it's in doubles, I'm perfectly fine with those abilities existing. What do y'all think? No. Tyranics does not need Shadow Tag. No. How about let's not give Tyranics Shadow Tag? Let's not do that. Let's not give Tyranics absolutely everything. I don't want that thing to be busted again. I saw Joshua's video about ranking PvPs, and I remember I already knew where he was going to put Luminami. Yeah. Luminami, yeah, nothing else to say. It's the best Loomian in the game right now. Soulburst Tyranics is going to have Fog Summon. Let's go. Give it the Vesperatu? No, I don't want to give it the Vesperatu either. Personally, honestly, What if Oblos got a second ability? And Oblos got Arena Trap. Oblos would be so strong with it. Trick Shot priority move, Quicksand for extra damage, Barb, Sap Plant, Dodge. Actually, no, I think... Yeah, Oblos would be bad if that was the case. No, I don't think Imperior should get Arena Trap. Yeah, Fog is getting reworked, so it blocks priority moves. It will still make 2-turn moves, only activate in 1 turn. But it will make it, instead of deactivating abilities, it will make it so it deactivates all priority moves. So it's basically Psychic Terrain. Are you sure that Soulburst Billow would be fast? I don't know about that. It can be very annoying with that. I don't know how good that is, though. Handy Rejuvenate, Handy Scapegoat, though, is very annoying to deal with if you're not careful. Especially if it can't set up. It can also run Emulate as well, so you could actually become the opposing Loomian, which is something you do got to be concerned about. Nice. LFH. A Soul Nectar worth having on a team? Yes. Soul Nectar has a lot of different roles it can run. It can run Blaze Rush, melee attacker. It can run ranged attacking. You can run Magnify Lightspeed Ray. You can run Magnify Defensive Luster Loot or Rejuvenate. You can even run Wonder Herb, and that can be used as well. Soul Nectar also has a lot of covered moves, as it has Airblade to hit fire types. It has Fire Breath to hit metal types. And it has Psycho Blast to hit toxic types. So you can kind of use whatever you want on Soul Nectar. Shadow Tag would be healthy on something that plays very passively in singles. That's fair. Just trapping something in without having the ability to switch out just seems very broken to me. It could go more towards the Charklin where it's fast and rocket jumps everywhere. Yeah, it could be that. Is there something with Fur Coat? What do you think of Violana as of now? Violana's okay. The problem with Violana is that it's a raid boss Loomian that doesn't die that easily. But it's a raid boss Loomian that doesn't really do that much damage unless it sets up 2 or 3 times. And I feel like there's just a lot of other Loomians that can do the raid boss role better. There's Soulburst Hoganosh, who's just an absolute monster after a bulk up. And even bulk up Terraclaw. You get a bulk up on Terraclaw and that thing legit never dies, and it heals its HP back with Parasitize and Vital Jab. There's also some other good raid bosses as well, like Soulburst Dragodine's a raid boss. And there's probably some other raid bosses out there that I can't possibly think of. The raid bossing Loomian Violana is too slow, and it doesn't really do anything besides setting up, rejuvenating, and hitting with stratagem. I mean, it has Teardown, so there's that, but that's kind of it. I saw Speeder's vid when he used Intensify Soul Nectar paired with Dazzling Barrage. Yeah, I saw that video too. It's a pretty cool strat. You think Sumo is getting a nerf before Season 2? I don't know. I think Jamie might remove that. I don't know if he will, though. I'm going to be streaming for another 4 minutes, and then I'll end the stream. I think I'm just going to go to bed tonight. I won't have an upload for tomorrow, unfortunately. I still have stuff I need to do for tomorrow. Although I will have a Loomian Legacy video out on Monday, so do not worry. An absolutely cheesy strategy in doubles is quick punching your Mocho with Rachel plushie. Oh, that would actually be insane. If you use something like... Who's a Loomian that has a very weak quick punch? Hi Ember, welcome to the stream. I didn't expect them to add parental bots so quickly. I have school. Alright, good luck at school. Let me see if I can find Loomian Legacy Quick Punch. Are there any? You could use something like a Himber and Quick Punch something, because Himber has a very weak Quick Punch. Himber? Yeah, Himber could use Quick Punch. Soma Beetle would be strong. That'll do too much damage. Your snack can use Quick Punch. But your snack also isn't that good in doubles. You could use a Munch Wheel with Quick Punch. And Gremline's not that good with it in doubles. You'd have to use it with Himber, which is bad synergy. Or you'd have to use it with Munch Wheel, who does nothing in singles. So I don't know. Or you use something like your snack and be passive, which doesn't work in doubles. Yeah, Redemptive Strike Plasmoth does nothing, but you're using Redemptive Strike on Plasmoth not to do damage. You're doing it as one of the fastest Redemptive Strike Loomians in the game and flinching the other person's team. You're using Redemptive Strike on Plasmoth to stop a Loomian from attacking for a turn. You're not using it to deal damage with Redemptive Strike. Which in doubles, Redemptive Strike is good on Plasmoth. In singles, not so much. What if you think Dazzling Barrage on Obsidian with Retro Plushie? Funnily enough, I was actually thinking about that for doubles. I was thinking about using a Resilience Raidful Plushie Obsidian with then after a Drudge, I outspeed everything. I was thinking about that, actually. I was actually thinking about that at some point. I just don't know if I'm going to showcase it. Make it like some kind of Arcalodon kind of Loomian. Well, High School Plus students doesn't have school on Monday, so I'm good. Hey! Winter Storm means you're out of school! You ranked Wiki over Chartiki in your tier list. Why is that? Chartiki doesn't really do that much right now. It has a decent defensive typing and even has a good ability now, but it really doesn't do anything offensively, and its support role isn't as good. It's bulky and it has a good defensive typing, but if you want to use a bulky fire type, use Infernix and Pyrolin. They're right there. And if you want to use a plant type, Lashent, Malmerk, and Wiki is right there. Wiki, on the other hand, Wiki is one of the best support Loomians in the game. The only Loomian that can send Herbal Remedy Chains, has Mudslide to remove hazards, can poison and sap Planet Poison Loomians, and just its ability to Herbal Remedy Chain to the rest of the team is very important. And yes, while it did get nerfed by losing Provoke, you could still use it. You can still use Wiki. You just gotta be careful with Provoke. It still does the same thing it did in the past. Also, final encounter of the stream is... RIP. Yeah, that's true. It is Provoke-based, but again, Provoke has not been that common this year. Provoke has been not that common. The only Loomians that run it are maybe Suicide Leads, like Gargolem, Speed, Imperior, Ganderville, maybe. And bulky Loomians like Plasmoth and the occasional Garbantus, and that's it. That's kind of it when it comes to Provoke Loomians. I guess Silber's Cramboss uses it too, but I think Silber's Cramboss uses other moves. It uses Baffle and Barbs and Icicle Traps instead. And then its fourth move is Slapdown. Oh yeah, Banfino uses Provoke. That's fair. The problem with Dakuda is that melee Dakuda has not been that common right now because it lost Venom Slash. Although I did hear it is getting Venom Slash back. So once that does come back, it will actually be a common Provoke Loomian again. But yeah, that is going to be the stream. I haven't streamed in a while. I'm happy that I was able to stream today. I don't know when I'll stream next time. We'll probably be on the new Terraria 1.4.5 update, so be ready for that. I think using an Eliguana with a really bad attack stat and use, yeah, very robust resilience, Obsidian with Ritual Plushie. I was thinking more like robust Nimble, so after a Drudge you outspeed everything. But yeah, that could work. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this hunting stream, and I'll plan on doing another stream in the future, so be ready for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll see y'all all later. Bye-bye!